All right, this little thing here, that's your bank angle sensor. Basically, tip over sensor. So if you drop your bike, it kills the power of the ignition. There's no point in me showing you how to test it. This one's no good, so you can't get any readings off of it. So what happens is there's a little check ball in here that it sits in the bike like this here. So if the bike falls over, it's mounted around the battery box on this particular bike, Sportster. This type here, this little square one they use from 98 through 03. And they use it on Big Twins too. It's also around the battery box. What happens is it provides a ground to the ECM or to the engine control module or ignition control module, depending on if it's carbureted or fuel injected. So your bike falls over. Your little ball falls out of there, loses ground. Basically what happens when these go bad, you'll have a bike that you'll be running down the road and you're going along, 50, 55, 35, whatever. And it'll just shut off like it killed the ignition. You coast over the side of the road and it might fire back up. It might take a couple of minutes before it fires back up. And you go on about your business. The worst one I ever had was on O2 electric glide. That guy kept complaining about his bike cutting out, and somebody else in the shop had looked at it and couldn't find a problem with it. And they went through, they checked the fuel system out because it acted like it was running out of gas, is the way the guy described it. It wasn't though; it was just killing the ignition. So they checked the gas cap vent, the petcock, a few other things, and rode it, and basically nothing happened. Charging the guy money, so he brings his bike in because it started doing it again. I took the bike out and rode it about 5 miles, didn't do nothing. Then turned around on the way back to the shop. I'm in traffic now, and it shut off probably 5 times in the span of about a mile. I could start it up and ride it a little bit. It'd get going and, up to third gear maybe, and it was shut off. Pull over the side of the road in traffic and wait, people blowing their horns, whatever. I actually had one in my toolbox because I always keep one in my toolbox as a test unit. And this actually came out of a bike that we have here that wasn't using this because they were using an aftermarket ignition system, which bypasses this totally. Took the one out of my toolbox, threw it on the guy's bike, took it out and rode it probably 20, 25 miles, whatever, running fine. So ordered him one from the Harley dealer and put it on there, no problem. On I want to say 94 through 97 models, they use one on there, but it was actually down in the stator pickup for the ignition, down in the nose cone, kind of a V-shaped looking thing on the sensor plate. And don't know that I ever had one of those go out. I didn't. When we first came out with these, the idea was that if you're erasing the bike or leaning it over too far, that it would kill the ignition, but it wouldn't. Centrifugal force would keep the little check ball in place. And really, that's about it. If you're suspected this is bad, there's ways to bypass it, and I can't remember how to do it. So basically, you've got one of these wires here coming in. I don't remember because it's got 2 gray wires. One of them goes to the ignition switch, kill switch, powered. This one goes to ground, and the other one goes to the ECM. I think the gray-green goes to ECM, or I might have it backwards. Anyway, one of these gray ones goes to the kill switch. One goes to the ignition control module or ECM, and the black one's to ground. That's about it, really. Just if you're having that kind of problem, that's one thing to check out, is that tip over sensor. I've got a customer that's got a Buell that threw, and he thought he was having, mechanic that he has told him that it was something in the fuel system, because they kept getting blackish powder in the float bowl, and that's what was causing it to cut off. So he brought me the gas tank, and I relined it because it was getting a lot of crap through the gas tanks, plastic gas tank. Long story short, it wasn't the gas. Reline the gas tank because it was delaminating the plastic out of it, which needed to be done. But they put it all back together. It's still doing that, and the Buell uses a tip over sensor too, but it's up on the frame under the front of the seat there, I believe, is where they put it. Somewhere around there. It's really easy to see because it looks like a little. It's not this type. It looks like a little tube, two little bubbles on it. Looks kind of like a barbell almost. Told them to get one of those and change that thing out or bypass it. You should be good to go. So just something to check out there. Like I said, this one's no good. You guys take care. Have a great weekend. Have a great week coming up. Halloween sometime this week, I think. Anyway, everybody take care.